Check, testing, check, 1, 2, check, testing, check, 1, 2. 1, 2. All right, we're good. What up? I'm back. And I hope that you're back with more NBA talk, predictions, all of that. It's me, Vortex 46. We're back with another dive into the NBA, the analytics, all of that, and hopefully finding some predictions to hopefully win on. All we can do is hope for the best. And the last stream had a fairly okay night, just okay, not good, not great, just okay, per what we put in for the live stream that day. Excuse me, from yesterday. Just a couple of the slips cash. Not many of them did. And then the this is my personal Discord. If you'd like to join my Discord, join. Find me. Bet at your own risk. The 10 points slip did not cash. Missed by pretty much 4 points, 4 buckets. Denham and then McConnell finished with 6 points. I didn't hit. And then, but I did cash on the Clowney Landell 15 points joint. So we'll gladly take that as a win. And then Claxton came through for his PRA over 20.5. He finished with like 31, I think. So he went well above. So, but I did just do a live stream here over on WAP.com. Search us up, find us at Top Sports Debate. I'll post the link to that now. Over on WAP. Like I said, shoot, didn't mean to do that. Did not mean to comment that. Here is the link here. As soon as I can find it. If I can find it, or I gotta go grab it again. Just double check here. I think I gotta go grab it again. Yeah, let me go grab this real quick. Bang. There we go. Join us. Come join us over here. This is Top Sports Debate. This is where I use AMP for the community parlay stuff and a little bit of analytical stuff, but I'm trying to do the analytical side of stuff here specifically on the channel. Try to really dive into this stuff and give you all insight and hope that whatever you hear, whatever you see, maybe it helps. Maybe it helps you succeed at sports betting. But this is where I'm at. Over here with the crew. Over here with Lando. He's the leader of us crew. Bobby, you get access to Bobby's picks, you get access to Tony, and then you get access to one of our newer cappers, Q Keezy, the legend himself. This homie's over here smacking the books, cashing on some slips. He cashed again last night. He continues to cash. Dopeness. But let's see what we can do tonight. I'm 1-0 currently because the Philadelphia game is still going. It's 112-109 right now with 9 seconds left. Well, 9.9. New York's winning currently. I took Philadelphia at the first half spread just before I got off of work, so that covered and cashed. So I'm definitely glad that I didn't take Philly to cover the actual full game spread, just because, just wasn't really sure. And as you see here, the spread bumped up to 5.5, so it's no longer 1.5 specifically for that. So let me see. Yeah, see, it was one, like it was like one and a, it was mainly 1.5, right? It opened up at 1.5 last night, 5:30, or yesterday evening, and it was like shifting and moving. Then it just was a steady spot of a 1.5. So like I said, I'm glad I didn't take Philly to cover the actual spread, but it looks like they're going to cover. Look, it changed. It went from a plus 5.5 to a plus 4.5. So looks like Philly may cover that specific spot. But again, like I said, took them on the first half spread, so that covered. My other main pick that I literally just put together and just posted on my Discord and over on WAP, and it is the I actually went over this data over on WAP during my live stream for the community parlay. I'm taking the Orlando Magic team total points under. One of the main reasons is because just a few factors. One of those reasons is you see here per the information here, and then I gathered a lot of extra stuff from the Moneyballer site here, is that it's still a risky bet. Last 10 they're under 112 points. They're 2-3 to the at home specifically. They're 2-3. Pretty much they've gone over 3 of the games, so don't like that, but that's okay. But in the head-to-head matchup, they're 3-0. In their last 3 matchups, they only averaged 100 points, 99.6. The other positive side, again, this is per Moneyballer. Overall, when it's pertaining to the over/under spot, they're 18-22, so that's a positive. At home, specifically as favorites, they're 7-12 to the 7-10, more so to the under, so that's a positive. And with rest, more importantly, with rest, they're 3-6 to the under, more on that side. But the negative side is the Cavaliers' defense. Overall, they're 24-20-2 to allowing a team to score their team total points. They allow currently on the season 117 points, just shy of 118. And in the last 8 road games, they're actually 3-5. 5 of those games when they allowed the team to actually score the 114 points that I'm taking them to pretty much go under. So this is a slip for them to go under 114. So hopefully that one will come through. I did cash on a couple other slips, right? So one slip. So the first slip, this wasn't a main bet, but I did this just before the game started because I was rushing at work. I took the Hornets to cover the main spread. Looked like they could have, but Washington covered in the loss. So congratulations to the Hornets winning. But I did win on this one. Miller, Ball, and Knuppel to score 15 points each, and they got the job done. So I'll gladly take that as a win. So there's that information. So pretty much enough of my rambling. Let's get it with the diving into the analytical side. Yep. New York won the game. They covered the spread. So there's that. A member from another Discord that I'm in, that I'm a capper for, they messaged personally, asked me if I should, if he should take Kelly Oubre on for 13 points, and I rushed and I was like, hey, it's only 13. That's kind of low for him specifically. And I was like, go ahead and take it. You know what? I'm gonna take it too. So he or them, whomever they are, they got me some extra funds. So Kelly Oubre finished with 14 points. We'll take it, right? But MB balled out with 38 and 11. Karl-Anthony Towns is a bum. 16 minutes and fouled out. 10.6 rebounds. I should have taken the under on him. Brunson had 31. Robinson had 10 rebounds. McBride got shut down on the 3, finished with 9. Hart had a double-double with 10 points and 14 rebounds. Anunoby had 23.7 rebounds, 4 assists. So he actually got a little bit of something. Bridges got shut down with 9 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds. So there's all that information. Maxey finished with 22 and 6 assists. VJ, the rookie, finished with 14 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Paul George, 9.6 rebounds. And like I said, Kelly Oubre with 14 points and 7. So there's all of that. So again, congratulations to New York winning on the road. The under hit 227.5, finished with 221. So there's that. But let's get ready to dive into this Orlando Magic game. Like I said, per my own specific spot, I took the team total points for the Magic here. But we can dive into the spread stuff. Franz is out. Suggs is back. I feel like he's going to be on minutes restriction though. Just Percy, just being honest. Feel like his line for points tonight is what again? They have them getting 12. It's still 12. It's been 12 even since about an hour ago, as far as I can tell. Books believe he's actually going to get the 12. Head to head, he had 28 against Cleveland, but that was last year. That was on the road. They allow per the position 26. He's 6-4 in the last 10, 60%. And Ssturday, who comes off the bench for the Kings, he got 21 last night. Shea had 30, he's a starter. Maxey had 22, he's a starter. Back to back, Maxey got the 12 or higher. Collier comes off the bench, so of course that doesn't really count. And then George, the starter, got it. So Suggs is a starter. The question becomes, does he get it? The one thing to note is that RJ Barrett came back last night. I mentioned that during the stream, is that RJ balls out. He been balling out. He balled out when he came back. Felt like he was going to ball out again, and he did not get I think it was like 20, 21 points last night. He finished with, I think, 10. So I don't know if that would coincide for Jalen himself. Could he get 12 points tonight? Still a possibility. He's fresh, possibly, maybe going to play roughly 20 plus minutes. But he had back-to-back games here. The last day of December, and the first game for them specifically finished with 11. But I want to say that was more so due to his injury that night. So what can you do? Do with that information what you will. But this is pretty much the lineups. Like I said, Franz is out, so I don't really know who would be placed in this spot because they still have some injuries themselves. I don't know if De Silva's going to be playing or anything like that. Maybe if he does play, he's going to be placed in Franz's spot here. But what's pertaining to the actual 1.5 in the total over under, so it changed from a 226.5 to now a 225.5. Per the data on Moneyballer, this is what it says as far as the spread and stuff like that and everything, and the overs. So pretty much both the Orlando Magic and the Cavs are on a downtick when it's pertaining to the total over under, right? The Magic are 17-26 currently on the season. They're 9-12 at home. They're 12-20 as favorites, more so to the under, and they're 7-10 as home favorites. So all of that, as I apologize, that this is the spread information. I apologize, not the over under. This is the spread information. The Cavaliers, when it's pertaining to their spread information, they're 16-30 on the season. They're 9-11, just below 500 on the road. They're 4-5, just below 500, covering as dogs. And then but there's a positive. They're 4-3 on the road as away dogs. So the downtick them as being dogs is 4-5, but the uptick is them being on the road as underdogs. They're actually 4-3, so 57% currently. But then the over-under, this is what it says. Orlando are 22-21 to the over-under, but they're 10-11 at home in the last 21 games. In the last 32 games, they're 15-17 as favorites, specifically in the last 32. And in the last 17 games at home as favorites, they're 7-10, right? So there's that. Cavs, specifically, their record is 22-24 to the over-under. In the last 20 games, they're 11-9, though, to the over on the road, but they're 4-5 in the last 9 games as dogs, and then 3-4 to the over/under as away dogs. So there's that info. If you want to get a little bit more analytical, this is what it says for the last 14 games for both teams. The Magic are 6-8. They are even 3-3 at home, but 5-7 as favorites, and as home favorites in the last 14 games, 2-2. Cavaliers 6-8 to the over/under. They're 2-5 on the road. Again, this is the last 14 games. 2-3 as underdogs, and then 1-3 as away dogs. So again, the under seems to be just more of a push. And the other reason why I say that I feel like I need to take the under, and I'm kind of upset that I didn't get that 226 like I should have. But again, I did push for at least Orlando to go under their specific total. And the reason being is that here specifically when it's pertaining to Orlando versus the Cavaliers, this is information I shared on WAP with the crew over there during my community parlay live stream, is that in the last 4 matchups, specifically at Orlando. The under hit 3 of those 4 games. April 25th of 2023, Orlando won 121 to 83. The under, the actual over hit though, it was 203 and a half, and it hit at 204. But the rest of the way it goes under. Magic against them 2 days later. Well, excuse me, yeah, it was 2 days later. I apologize. I thought it was 220. I thought it was 2023. Well, it was April 2024. But then 2 days later, on April 27th, Orlando won 112 to 89. And then just about a week later, May 3rd of 2024, Orlando won 103 to 96. And then last year on February 25th of 2025, Orlando lost to Cleveland 122 to 82. But again, the total went under. So again, 3 of those games, 3 straight games went under. Orlando specifically, they scored above the 114 one time, and that was on the very first matchup in these last 4 games with the 121. Everything else, 112, 103, and 82. So again, that's why I say the data's pinpointing for the under. The books believe it's going to go over. I feel like it's going to go under, and I feel like Orlando's not going to score this 114. But again, per the data, a little bit of extra data when it's pertaining to this spot here is that the Cavs in the last several games have allowed 117 points. 5 of the last 8 on the road, they've allowed 5 teams to score above the 114. And then overall, they're 24, 20, and 2. So, but again, there's still positive information for the Magic to go under. And again, I feel like with Franz out, again, of course, Suggs is in. So he's replacing the 15, 20 points or whatever higher that he could still potentially possibly score, say 15 to 20 points tonight in Franz's spot. But you got to consider what the bench is going to be doing. And then, of course, you have also Cleveland with what they don't have. I just still feel like this game can go under the 225 and Orlando can still go under their 114. So I need to stop playing around and take this under on this game here, because it's just best to do it. Like I said, I wish I had gotten the 226 and a half when it was sitting there in front of my face just literally about an hour ago before I got on here, and I pretty much lost my spot. Okay, it's actually 226 and a half right now. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in. This is over on FanDuel. Because again, on here it's saying 225, but it's actually 226 at a -1. Yeah, it's a -110 on FanDuel. So let me do that. Whoops, didn't mean to click on that. So I just really feel like this will go under. Now again, it's still a lean. It's -106. The line movement, the shift, it shifted. Let me see if it will. Let me see. Yeah, it's -114, but I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna go on ahead and I'm gonna put this in. I'm gonna take the under. Let's hope for the best. Try not to stress. And I'm gonna plop this right on over on my Discord as an extra slip here. Nice. Somebody cashed. So Cavaliers or Magic total under. There we go. There it is. It's in. Locked it in. Let's hope for the best. Again, try not to stress. What the? Why does it look like that? It's all grainy. Strange. That's fascinating. All right, bet. So that's that game. So do with that information what you will. Again, personally, I just feel like it will. Yo, King, what's going on? What's going on? How are you? Hope you're doing well. You want Hauser for 10? Let's see. For Boston, right? You want him for 10, right? Let's see. Now they got him at plus money for a 12. As you see here in the last 5, he's 5-0 to the 12. But let's look at the head-to-head. That's why they got him at the plus money, because he's 0-2 against them. Now on the season, he's 0-1, right? But he was just 2 buckets off, literally. Maybe even a 3, just 1 bucket for a 3, right? So you need 12. Down here is where the positive comes in. Collins, he got it. He's a starter. Wolf sometimes starts. He at 14. Wolf again. So Wolf is 2-0 to getting the 12 for you in this specific spot against Chicago. So that's good. Clowney, 23. Durant, 28. And then Jabari Smith. I actually like it, right? It's 12 points. They allow 25 to the position. Shoot, I just might take this too. It's actually really, really beautiful. On the year, he's averaging 9. Okay. Let's look at him specifically on the road. He is still he's averaging 14 on the road, just shy of 15, 14.4. But again, technically on the month though, on the month, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 and 2 to getting the 12 on the road. Personally being honest, I feel like he can get the 12. But the question becomes, is he going to have now? Okay. Now he did this, but he played 22 minutes here specifically, but he's in the starting lineup. He's actually playing 26, just out of 27. He had 39 last game. Let's take the risk, right? I'm gonna take this. I actually like it. Let's do it. Let's do it. I like it. Let's hold on. Is my strange. Let me make sure that this is trying to check to make sure that the comments are coming through. They are not. This is strange. I am live. Like literally, I'm staring at my stream. Fascinating. Because it's not, the thing isn't popping up here. It's on my phone, but it's not popping up here. Oh well. Okay. But I like this. I'm gonna go on ahead and put this in. I like it a lot. We're getting better value on FanDuel for 114. So let's go on ahead and take that. Now I'm just saying this now that, again, because I did just mention it. Member in another Discord that I'm a part of, because I'm a capper over there. They told me about they wanted my thoughts on Kelly Oubre for 13 points. He cashed with 14. So let's take your boy. Let's take Hauser for the 12. Okay, more interesting though, right? So they actually have him at 11 for a minus 118. So let me see if I can bump him up. Let me see. I can't bump him up to 12. So I have to actually put this on DraftKings maybe. I was going to do this on FanDuel, but I'm going to have to log into DraftKings to do this, because I feel like this would be better. I really do want this plus money, plus value. So we'll just do it that way. So instead of getting plus 110, I would rather take the DraftKings spot. So let's do this. So where you at, dude? Where's Hauser here? Where's he at? Oh, there. Wait, they still dropped them to 11. Let me see if I can bump them to 12. Here we go. There we go. 12 plus 113. Let's get it. Now, if you want to take them for the 11, I would say take them for the 11, right? Let me see. The books currently believe he's not going to get the 11, right? You need 12. So if anything, this is where you can ladder. You can take them twice. You can take them at the 11, and then you just bump them up one more. So we'll just do it that way. But we're gonna just do this on DraftKings. So we're gonna take them for the 11 first. Again, this is how you would ladder. So actually, you know what? I'll just do this. I'll grab them on FanDuel at the 11. So this is a minus 118. So this would be, yeah, that's fine. So we'll do Hauser for 11 minus 118, and then we're just gonna bump them up one more point plus money for him to get 12. This is how you ladder. If you feel like he comfortable enough, because again, he had 15 or higher in 4 straight games. 3 of those games were on the road, right? On the road specifically, though, in the last 10, he is 3-2, 4-2, 4-3, 4-4, 5-4 to getting it, right? Let's look at him on the road. Again, this is him on the road. So 5-4 in the last 10 road games. But if you just dwindle it down even just the last 5, he's technically 4-1 on the road in the last 4 road games. So now I bumped up to 317. Let's accept the change. Plus 317. I mean, plus 117. Apologies. It shifted from plus 113 to plus 117. So we're gonna do that. Why is this so grainy? I don't know why that was so grainy on that slip. That is so weird. This is from my phone too. That was weird on FanDuel that it did that. All right, so this is what we do. This is how we do that, and then we're just gonna just plop this on my Discord, so that way this is in. Nice. You took him on points and assists. Nice. That's what's up. He cashed for you. That's what you want. All right, so now I'm gonna plop this. We're gonna, again, this is how you ladder. So we're doing Hauser. So Sam Hauser points ladder. So 11 points, 12 points. Again, that's all we need. We need him to go out there and score these buckets. There it goes. I just popped it, posted it, boom. 11 points, 12 points. Simple. Again, like I said, if you feel like he can get the 15, take it on a straight bet. And let's hope for the best for that. I'm just actually gonna plop this here as well. And here we go. Bang. Bang. Okay. Here we go. Now, so he took Hauser for the 12. And he took it for 14. Okay. I like it. Because like I said, even just 4 straight games he had 15 or higher. You know what I mean? Just in general, just out of the last 5 road games, he's been producing more consistently in the month. Again, he's 5-2 in the last 7 road games here in the month of December. So yeah, I like it a lot. Like I said, if you felt froggy to take him for 15 points, take him. It is what now? Plus 255. I like the number, so take it with what you will. Let's move on to, I think this is the next game. It is the next game. All right, bet. Bulls hosting the Boston Celtics. So, again, Money Baller, this is what it says. Again, if you want to, we're going to dive into everything here. So, this is Boston's second game of a back-to-back, third game in 4 nights, fourth game in 6 nights. And they're coming off an overtime game. While the Bulls, they're rested. This is an in-season revenge. Coming off of a win as a dog, though, right? May want to consider possibly fading them off of the win. Fade the team because of the OT. They're talking about fatigue and stuff like that, right? But per some actual info when it's pertaining to their spread record, which again, this is 3.5. Currently the books have an even spot for either team to cover. The over/under is 231.5. The books currently have the Celtics favorite to win in a straight bet for the money line. The Bulls are 22-21-2 to covering the spread on the season overall. They have a positive when it's pertaining to them at home, though, 13-10-1, and a positive as underdogs. There's actually 17-7 in the last 24 games as underdogs, and in the last 10 games as home dogs, they're 8-2. So this is a positive spot for them, specifically sitting here at home. But they're still positive for the Celtics. They're hitting at a 57% hit rate, 56.8 on the spread, 25-19 on the season. They are on the road 15-9. They are just above 500, covering as favorites 16-14, and then they're also above 500 on the road as favorites 9-6. So that's that information. When it's pertaining to the over/under total, this is what it says. It's more leaning towards the under spot, right? 20-25 for the Bulls to the over/under, 9-15 at home. More unders are hitting at home. 11-13 as dogs, and then 4-6 as home dogs. So again, the under is has been more of a push for them specifically in these last many games. For the Celtics, pretty much the same. 19-24 to the over/under, more on the underside. On the road, 10-14. As favorites, 13-17, and then as away favorites, 6-9. So that's that information. When you decide to dive into their last 5 meetings at Chicago, this is what it says, right? This is where it could possibly pinpoint to a possible over, though. Maybe. Again, maybe. This is what it says. In the last 5 games, the over hit 3 out of the 5. But it's more so like in the middle. So on November 21st, 2022, the Bulls won 121-107. The over went under 228. So the over was 230, it went under at 228. And then their next meeting on February 22nd of 2024 at Chicago, the Celtics won 129-112. The total went over. It was 226. Then the next meeting, pretty much a month and a day later, March 2023, the Celtics won 124-113. The over hit 237, so it was 220 at that time. And then last season, November 29th of 2024, the Celtics won 138-129. Of course, that goes over, but that over total was 243, or excuse me, 244 was 266 on the final spot. And then December 21st of last year, pretty much almost a month later, the Celtics won 123-98. The total was 240, and it was 221 to the ending total. So again, right in the middle is where the totals were hitting more, and on the outside of the middle, the unders were hitting. When it's pertaining to the actual spot on who won and who didn't the most, the Cavs more specifically are 3-2 against the 4-1 against the Bulls in their last 5 matchups at Chicago. So currently, per the information in front of you, maybe you possibly take the Celtics to cover tonight. Let's see if Giddey is playing. He is officially playing, right? This is going to be a second game back. Last game he finished with how many PRAs? He finished with 32, so he went above his mark. His line is 29 currently tonight. The question now becomes, what do you possibly do with his PRA tonight at 28.5? Most of the time, he's hitting at an 80% hit rate, 8-2 in the last 10 games. Head to head, though, he's under in 2 matchups against the Celtics. 1 at home, 1 on the road. And more specifically in the spot, he's currently 0-1 in his most recent meeting, finishing with 21. The Celtics defense, they have shut down mostly everybody from getting the actual 29. Denman, he doesn't really go off like that. McConnell comes off the bench. Cunningham, he's a starter. He got his. Vitt's a starter, but he doesn't do that much of a damage. CJ, he came off the bench here against Boston, and he finished with 22. So he was in the 20s, just low 20s. So there's that. And then McConnell once again. So he's technically 0-2 against them on getting his specific thing. But then he just, so this data really isn't helping compared to what this is showing. But I would say if you're going to consider maybe possibly taking Giddey for either way, consider this, but then consider this too, because Boston shut him down in 2 games. He's at home, so you can say in the last 10 home games, though, he's averaging 32. He's 6-4, right? But there hasn't been he's had 2 spots where he's gotten back to 3 straight, but then he's also had a spot where when he was down, he went 3 straight. So he didn't get it on the 29th of December here. So the question becomes, now that he's back at home after so long, okay, but that was the last 10. Yeah, so all right, he's still looking good, but again, this was the last 10 though. Still looking good in the last 20, and on the season, he's looking better, 36. So 37. So do with this information what you will. In these many games at home, he's actually doing it, but it's just the back half now, or the front end here, he's been going under. So who knows what's really going to happen tonight. Maybe still take him, see if he actually gets 29. But that's that. Again, me personally, do I take this 232 tonight? Do I take the Bulls? Do I take the Celtics? Again, more of the lean is pushing more towards the Celtics, because pretty much 4 of those games that they won comfortably. So they covered a 3.5. They covered a 4. So do with this information what you will. Me, like I said, I got a pick from the homie. He had me look at the information, and it worked out. I'll take the ladder for Hauser on his points on the road. This is still a risky bet. It's still plus money for that 12, but maybe he still gets the 11. But the hope is that he gets 12. Maybe he gets 15. So I'll take it. I like it. Next up, is the Lakers and Dallas here. Spread is 4.5. The Lakers are favorite. The over-under is 234, right? So per my community parlay that I posted here, that I did a live stream 2 hours ago, I put a slip in. I took the rookie. I took Cooper Flag for 6 rebounds. Let's see if it's still 6. It currently is still 6, right? So we'll take it, right? I think the line was a little bit lower, so I'll gladly take it because it's at 145 now. But this is what he's done in the last 10 games. 6 rebounds average, right, in the last 10, but 5 in the last 5. So he had back-to-back games. Specifically in the month, he is, though, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 3 to getting the rebounds. And then down here, most of the small forwards that they face off against have either come close or actually gotten the 6. So you see it 5, 5, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8. So do with that information what you will. You can even break it down even more to Jalen Johnson, who got shut down at 3 here on the 13th. So I still feel comfortable about Cooper getting the actual 6 rebounds tonight. But per the data here, there's no notes here for the Lakers, but the Mavericks possible ensues of revenge. First game on the back-to-back, coming off a win as a dog, possible letdown. But they did win, right? Didn't see them winning. Did not see, let's look at it. Did not see them beating the Warriors, right? But it happens, right? Well, I should say, I apologize. I actually felt like that they could possibly beat the Warriors. It was the New York Knicks. Did not see them beating them on the 19th. But they actually played better at home. They're back at home against the Lakers. Lakers didn't cover the last game. They lost the last game 112 to 104. The question becomes, what are they going to do? Because they've struggled in the month to do anything to cover, while Dallas is having a really good month for themselves. They are 5-2 to covering ATS and the actual spread at +4.5. I'm feeling actually comfortable to taking the Mavs to cover the +4.5. Just being honest, just because of the way that the Lakers specifically have been playing, right? They've only covered 3 of the last 10 games. 4 of the last 10 games. 2 of the last 5 games, while Dallas is 4-1 of the last 5, 8-2 the last 10. But per Moneyballer, this is what it says. Dallas is positive on the spread, more so because it has to be because they're at home, right? They're 21-23-1 to covering ATS, but at home they're 15-10 in the last 25 home games. As dogs in the last 19 games, they're 16-12-1. And then as home dogs in the last 15 games, they are 11-4. Lakers are 21-20-2 in the last 43 games. In the last 23 games, they are on the road. They are 12-11. While there is a bit of a positive side for them here, specifically as favorites, they're 13-10-2 in the last 25 games. But in the last 11 games as away favorites, they're just above 500 at 6-5. When it's pertaining to the over-under, this is where it gets a little bit interesting, though, right? Mavericks are 20-25 to the over-under, so the under's hitting more. 12-13 to the over-under at home. 15-14 as dogs. But then also, 8-7 as home dogs. So that's that information. While the Lakers are 25-18 to the over, more so than the under. But they're 10-13 on the road. But as favorites, they're 12-13, right? But as away favorites, in the last 11 road games, they are 3-8. Do with that information what you will. But let's look at what they've done in the last few matchups, specifically at Dallas. 4 games. Mavericks won in 2022 on February 26th. Not the Mavericks, I apologize. Lakers won 111-108. That went under the actual 234, December 12th of 2023. The Mavericks won against the Lakers 127-125, so that went over. Mavericks and the Lakers on January 7th of 2024 last year, pretty much over a year ago. Mavericks won 118-97, but it went under 215. And then on April 9th of last year, Lakers won 112-97, but the total went under. So when it's pertaining to the factors of this matchup, the total is hitting more when it's pertaining to them facing off against each other. So the question becomes, with what these teams are doing, Dallas more so in the last 10 have gone under, right? But in the last 5, they've actually gone over. They're 2-3 in the last 5, right? To the over. To the under. I apologize. To the under. While the Lakers are 6-4 to the over in the last 10 games. But then I apologize. I'm reading it wrong. I'm reading it right the first time. So more so to the under. The under seems to be more prevalent for both teams because the Lakers are 6-4 in the last 10, and they're 3-2 to the under 3 straight games. While the Mavericks are, like I said, 7-3. But in the last 5 games they're actually 2-3 to the under. So, do you consider taking the under on the game based upon what the Lakers have done in the last 5 games, based upon what Dallas has done on the back half of the last 10 games, or do you consider taking the under per what the matchup is concerned, pertaining to? Again, Mavericks are just barely hitting the over, right, in the last several games. So there's that. And then the Lakers are mostly going under more in specific spots. Again, they're 25-18 to the over, and just in general, but 10-13 on the road, 13-12 as favorites, but as away favorites 3-8. So I feel more comfortable about taking the under, but I also feel more comfortable about taking Dallas for the actual spread because they play better at home. So go on ahead and give me Dallas to cover the +4.5, because I really do feel like they are going to. If they do lose, I feel like it may not be by the actual 5 points. So plus the books believe currently that they're actually going to cover the 4.5. So this is on the sports app. We're just gonna log in or re-log in and post this. We're almost done. We got one more game and we are good. All right, let's see. I gotta see if I can put another because I gotta check. As far as I know, I was 1-0. I thought they canceled the. Did they not cancel the Warriors game? I thought they canceled that Warriors Minnesota game. Yeah, they did. I don't know why it's showing. This must be a different game then. Strange. Fascinating. All right, let me get back to what I was doing. I'm gonna take Dallas to cover, because again, data is pinpointing more towards them covering more, right? Just being honest. Again, the Lakers are 13-10-2, and then but they're like barely covering as away favorites, like barely. So Dallas has more comfortability on their side. So give me Dallas to cover this 4.5 here. There we go. Oh, how much do I got? Okay. So there's that. Dallas, and as always, I am posting this on my Discord just to show y'all that it is in, because I'm in it to win it, son. There we go. In. Locked it in. Boom. It's in. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, what's going on with my... But we in. Hopefully to win. So there's that. Last one, Miami heading to the Utah Jazz. Spread is 6.5. Over on the total is 245.5. It's just basically because of Utah's defense. I think Tyler Hero's out. Mitchell is officially out now. Okay, as of 5 hours ago. So there's that. Ware is out as of yesterday. Nurkic is Q tagged. Okay, glad I didn't take his as of 7 hours ago. Man, maybe you don't take the total over. Maybe you take it under because Nurkic, he had back-to-back triple doubles, right? Mad I didn't take that. Somebody had him at a plus 4,000 for the triple dub. I'm swole. Missed that. So it might be a George show for Utah. Maybe Bailey, because Morgan is out too. Officially as of 5 hours ago. So again, maybe you don't take the over here in the game because that's that's a lot of points. That's Marketing, Nurkic, out. Of course, Kessler's what you call it. Mitchell for his assists and stuff like that. Hero for his points. Ware for his points and boards. Like that's just a lot of stuff that you're missing when it's pertaining to this game. Maybe take Wiggins for his threes. Maybe you bump him up. Maybe, let me see. Where's this threes at? It's a minus. So I missed out on this one because I was considering, well, technically it was a minus 195. I was considering putting him on my community parlay over on WAP.com with my live stream over there. But again, it was a minus 195. Now it's minus 200. So it's up to you if you want to consider taking this here. But when it's pertaining to the actual spot, though, Miami and Jazz. This is the Miami Heat's first game of a back-to-back. There's possible travel fatigue, at least 4 straight game on the road, and then fourth game in 6 nights. Same thing as Jazz, 4th game in 6 nights, right? But there's some actual positive for the Jazz here compared to the Miami Heat. They are actually covering spreads. Last 45 games, they're 25-20 to covering. In the last 23 games, they're 15-8 at home specifically. And in the last, 41 games as dogs, they're 22-19. So that's a positive. And then in the last 21 games, specifically as home dogs, they're 13-8 at home. Again, as home dogs. Do they cover a plus 6.5 without Lauri Markkanen? Possibly without Nurkic. That's the question. But this is what it says for the Heat when it's pertaining to the spread: 25-20-1 in their last 46 games. There goes my favorite number, 46, was part of my name. In the last 24 games, though, on the road, they're 12-11-1, just a little bit above 500, and then above 500 in the last 21 games as favorites, 11-10. But they're even 3-3 as away favorites. And then when it's pertaining to the over-under total, again, this is 245.5. The Jazz are on the positive for the over, 27-18. Another positive at home in the last 23 games, 17-6. More of a positive as underdogs as when it's pertaining to the over-under, 24-17. And then positive at home as dogs, 15-6. This is where it gets more interesting for the Heat, though. More of a down scope. Even 23-23 to covering on the season in 46 games. That was my favorite number again. Even 12-12 in the last 24 games on the road. But they're under as favorites, 8-13. And in the last 6 road games, they're 2-4. So again, the under is on the down tick for them, right? That's that. So do with that information what you will. Just being honest here. Let's look at the matchup here. It's more specifically at Utah. There were only 3 games in the last 2 seasons. December 31st of 2022, the Jazz lost to the Heat 126-123. That over of the 246 went over at 249. On December, pretty much the same month, but pretty much just a day off, December 30th of 2023, The Jazz won 117 to 109, but the under hit 226. And then this year, last year on January 9th of 2025, the Miami Heat won in a very low game, 97 to 92. The under hit 189. The under has hit 2 times out of the last 3 matchups, pretty much more recently in their last 2 matchups over the course of the last 2 seasons at Utah. Again, there is, to me, sounding like more of a under here. It just depends on what happens, depends on the pacing of this game. Again, it's 246. The question becomes, what is Norman Powell, Larson, Wiggins going to do with their points at a bio? What is, if Nurkic is in, that's points for them to get, right? And then you got Bailey hopefully showing up here. Let's see what Bailey's doing as far as his points. He did score back-to-back 20 and 25. Roughly more so when he gets his points is 15 or higher, but he does go down. George, he balled out a little bit, right? 43 here, right? But he's averaging around 20, a little bit over 20, and he usually gets around 25. So he's averaging 25. So you have that there. Williams, he is averaging, his spot is 8. Do you take him for 8? This is super low. Maybe I do take him for 8 tonight. He normally gets 8, right? He's averaging 9. This is possibly the simplest prop that you can take, possibly. He's averaging 26 minutes. He's taken 7 shots, though. That's the only thing. He's had back-to-back games. He had one spot here in the last 10 where he went 3 straight. But that was the only time on the season. Again, he's having more usage, though. That's the thing. Per his position, they are allowing almost 30.4. And then you got Sharp, Love, Monk, Levine, Moody. Even just here in general, mostly everybody is getting 8 points or higher. Personally, if I were you, I'll probably push him to 10, ladder him up. It's 8, 9 here, and then you got 10. So maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll just ladder him up. I'll take him for 8 here, and then I will. And then looks like I'm getting plus money for 8 on FanDuel. Let me see. Let's see. Because FanDuel's giving you 2 separate. If this is 2 separate, I will gladly take this too. Like, just being honest. Let me see. Heat, Jazz. Again, you just need him for 8 points. Let's see. It is what? Williams. Fascinating. Oh, there he goes. All right. So plus 100 for 8 points. Now, again, he had 5 here, but this was last year on the 9th. He did have 23 minutes this game. He took 3 shots, though. So, again, this was that point when he was at home. But, again, he's been, I guess, maybe possibly being a little bit more confident in his shooting. But, again, even when he's still getting the 7, he was still getting the actual 8 points. So, we're going to take it. We're going to take him for, I actually like the spot. See if he can get it. Because, again, it's just a low spot. You just need him to get 8. Let's see if he gets the actual 8 here. Let's see. Excuse me. Plus 100. So that's 8. All right. 9 is the 125. So we place him here for TV. Oops. Fascinating. So I have to do, because they have them for 9 for excuse me, for 10 for a plus 165. But on FanDuel it is a plus 190. Let's see if I can find it. Maybe I can't, and I just have to. I just have to manually put this in. So we go Williams. So Williams points. So 9. So it's a plus 130 now. It's okay. Actually, it's better. Actually, it's higher than what you would want. So we will take it. Gladly take the plus 130. Gladly. There's that. And like I said, it's gonna be the first time that I do actual one for let's see. It is, excuse me, for him to get 10 on FanDuel. Plus 190. Let's get it, son. I could have added a little bit extra to that, but that's okay. Just kind of feel like that he can actually get the actual 10 tonight. At least 10. Again, if he gets much more, gladly take it, right? Yo, LSU and Arkansas are balling. Memphis Tigers lost. We lost and couldn't cover the spread against Wichita State. Oh, well, it is what it is. All right, so that's pretty much the data there. I need to look at these couple of openings for tomorrow if I can, see if I can find and see anything, and then maybe I'll post a video for tomorrow. Maybe look into this data for this Detroit Kings game. The spread is 13.5. I wonder what they see. Let me see. Cunningham's probable. So Cunningham should be playing. As of 3 hours, he's officially playing. Because he did not play. I don't think he played last night, if I remember. So there's that. I'm kind of wondering if, because that's the thing Sacramento's been covering. They covered on December 23rd, but they were at home. In the loss, though. That's the thing. But I think the over hit, though. 250 something. Actually, 260 something. So maybe you take the, what's the over on the game? 225.5? Now the under has been hitting. Again, it's based on Detroit's defense, though. That's the thing. You got to consider that stuff. Because they've actually been playing better defense. So, do with that information what you will. But we'll see. I have to dive a little bit more into this information, and I might, because again, I might take the risk and take Sacramento to cover the spread tomorrow. Just depends. And then maybe to see if maybe I attempt to take Sacramento's team total points under, maybe. But that's a stretch, though, because they're going over. Like, they are going way above. Well, not way above, but it's 106. I might take this. Let me see. They got 127 here. They're 3-0 against them. Back-to-back games, 127. But again, they're okay. This could be more of a riskier bet more than anything. Let me see. 1-0. 1-1, 1-2, 1-3. 1-4, 1-5, 1-6, 2-6 in the last 8 home games. They are shutting teams down from getting their team total points. So there's more of a lean towards them to go over the 106. Just might take that. That might be my bet. Kind of get ahead of the game. But that actually might be my slip for tomorrow. I might do that. Might test Detroit's defense, see if they can stop Sacramento from scoring 106 points. Again, they've been going way over. Right? Way over. Like I might just take the chance on the Kings getting the 106 more than taking them under. Let me see. Now, that's the thing. Most of these games were on the road. Look at them at home. Yeah, let me look at them. Sorry, most of those games were at home. So this is what they've done on the road, though. They're going under. What do we do? Maybe. That's the question at hand. Do I fade them tomorrow? Or do I take them to take the risk? Because, again, they actually like playing against Detroit. They really like playing against them. I'll have to check and see. Because I don't think there's currently any, I don't think. Do they actually have data? Let me see. Yeah, technically it's just the last 3 home games. Specifically against the Kings. Sacramento. They really do. They really enjoy playing against Detroit. Man, I'm thinking about taking a risk here. That might be my main pick tomorrow. If I decide to take, because again, the Kings are they literally, the 3 games at Detroit, they scored 122, 131, and 127. This is just in the last 2 seasons alone. And what's the total? 226. The total hit over. So 235, 241, and 244 were their totals. The only one that was closest to this 226 was last April on the 7th, where it was 231. So just a few points above the actual 226. But again, we're talking about data from last year compared to what the Pistons are doing now. They are shutting teams down. They are 6-2 to stopping teams from scoring on them in the last 8 home games. I don't necessarily believe that. I'm just being honest. I don't believe that. Let me see. Detroit's been going under. They're averaging 110. Again, the only reason why they're giving them 121 is because of Sacramento's defense. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 of the last 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. 6 of the last 15 Sacramento have allowed teams to score the 121. More specifically with them at home. On the road. Because again, you're looking for the 121. Sacramento on the road in the last 15 games. If you're looking to push for the Pistons to go over, 1-0, 2-0, 3-0. So 4-0. 4-0 game out of all of these games. 4 of those games were on the road, and all 4 teams got the 121. Do with this information what you will. I know I'm getting ahead of myself per the actual spot, but for tomorrow. So again, but Detroit, when they played against Sacramento at home, they specifically scored in those 3 games 113, 110, and 117. So both they went under. So The actual spot is possibly taking the Kings for the over on their team total points, possibly taking Detroit under their team total points. But like literally both teams are in a spot currently on the season, these last several games. Detroit are stopping teams from scoring, and Sacramento are allowing teams to score. So yeah, it's kind of a middle on whether or not you will want to take this over. But again, per the history in the 3 games, the totals have hit in all 3 games to the over. So per the history. So we'll see. We shall see. I'm going to have to make a decision on what I want to do with that, or if I even want to maybe do something different for a main pick. But other than that, I'm out. Let's hope for the best for tonight. I'm going to try to put another pick in for this first game starts, and I'll post it. Again, find us, follow us on wap.com at Top Sports Debate. This is where I be at with my community parlay live streams. Community parlay is in. And the community parlay is the 2 of those are risky bets. Desmond Bain for 5 assists. It was at plus money. I took it as a straight bet. Matas Bazula. I'll show you the slip. Again, this is over on Discord that I posted this as well. Here it is. Excuse me. I apologize. That's the wrong one. Here it is. Bazula. 15. So basically 14.5 points. His was at plus 100. And then Cooper Flag for 6 rebounds. Again, this is the community parlay for tonight for both Top Sports Debates, Discord, and WAP.com. This is what I did here on the stream. And then, like I said, you get all the other access to Lando, the leader of the crew, Bobby, Tony, and our newest capper, Q Keezy, who's smacking the books, the legend himself. But with that, I'm out. Y'all stay safe, stay humble, and I'll hopefully talk to you all. Won't be tomorrow because looks like I'm possibly sleeping over at my job tomorrow because of the weather. And yeah, we'll see. But it won't be tomorrow. It will definitely be hopefully on Monday. We still have we have 7 games on Monday. So I should be back home and able to really dive into this stuff. But I'm out. I'll holler at you later, guys. Y'all, good luck with your picks, your slips, all of that. Let's push for some wins. And I will hopefully talk to you all.